Okay, so that's when I'm looking at the screen, and this is when I'm looking at you. I want to make eye contact. Okay. Hey y'all, welcome back. It's been about 2 years since my last video, but I have a great excuse. I've been really busy, haven't we all? And this video, I'm going to talk to you about what I've been doing the last 2 years, as well as tell you about my recent experience on a cruise. I finally gotten back to cruising. It's my favorite thing to do. I just love it. That's my one hobby here. But I did wait for a while for everything to kind of settle out, and they were delaying it for whatever reasons. But I work in healthcare, and I feel like I'm already exposed to potential. I have a lot of potential exposures already just by working in healthcare and not knowing how patients, conduct themselves or whatever. Skip all that. Anyways, I felt like this is a pretty good experience, and I'll explain like how they're making things safe. It still may not be a good idea for other people, but this is just about me. So let's talk about it. All right, so first things first, and I'm going to timestamp this because that's the thing to do nowadays. Everything has changed a lot. And I will definitely be going back to live videos because I don't like editing, and I'm going to have to edit this one because I didn't find a place where I can just upload my photos directly to YouTube like I did in the past edit videos. Anyways, well, as most of you know, that I am currently enrolled into an optometry program. So I'm studying to be an eye doctor, and I'm on my last semester now. Well, I'm in quarters now just because we're on our rotation phase. So last year I took all my boards, and so I was focused on that 100%. We have 3 parts for our national boards, and 2020, I feel like I was just really stressed out with all of that and just trying to make sure I passed like part 1 because it's really hard. It's a lot of the academic work from all the years we've been in school. And so I ended up passing that. I didn't tell a lot of people yet, but I passed part 1. That was in March of 2021. Then part 2 was in December of 2021. However, a lot of us were burnt out from studying for part 1, and then we started our first set of rotations. So I was really focusing on my craft and, learning about, you get to experience your field in a better, what's the right word I want to put? I just got a real life experience of my field and managing patients, and it was really nice. And so now I'm on my second rotation, which is because I did a double at my first site, and now I'm just working with kids mostly. So I'm enjoying it, but because I was able to finish part 2 of my boards December 2nd of last year, and then I took part 3 like 2 days before Christmas. So now I'm just waiting on part 2 and part 3 scores to come in. I won't get those till late January, early February, and I kind of have a moment where I can just breathe now and it feels good to be here. I don't know how I did. I feel I'm confidently expecting that I pass, and I'm leaving it at that. So anyways, I had the cruise scheduled for about a year and a half now. Because I knew that because I chose the particular rotation for clinicals during the winter quarter, I was going to get a week off for the holidays. Typically, that's not what was expected if I went elsewhere. So I picked this time because I knew I would have that week off after Christmas to do what I wanted to do with my time. So I decided to go on a cruise. And it would be a nice way of just celebrating the end of my academic journey and just taking in a breather for me. And I don't know about y'all, what your reasons are for cruising, those who follow this channel. But mine, as I say this all the time, I feel like I'm the closest to God when I'm at sea. because I love seeing the sunrise. I just love the ocean sounds, and it's just a very peaceful time for me. And I really wanted to cruise during this time because the ships weren't sailing at full capacity. So I was like, less people, that's a definite plus for me. But that's why I decided to schedule this, vacation, because of all the stuff I've been doing with school. So I graduate in May, and I'll be traveling a lot more starting May. I've got another cruise planned before I graduate. I've got a trip to Hawaii planned. It's a family trip. And then I'm trying to plan another cruise for late 2022. So I'm really excited about traveling again like I want to. And it's kind of changed a little bit. So I definitely want to do this video because first I didn't take a bunch of pictures like I usually do just because I was on vacation. I wanted a breather from social media. I didn't do a media package. I only did the $5 chat plan so that I can talk to people on the actual ship. But other than that, I was disconnected, and I really enjoyed that part. So first, I took pictures, like some pictures just kind of guide me through like what I did to prepare. So for this was kind of different. I usually pack way in advance for my cruises. This was different. I definitely packed, I would say, where I had my little planning list where I wanted to dress nice. I dress nice for work all the time, but to dress nice just for going out or just social dressing, I don't feel like I've been able to do that the last 2 years because I've been working a lot and not really hanging out as much. So I was able to wear to wear my cute outfits during the day and wear something different during night. And I actually did wear a lot of the clothes that I planned out. There are only about 3 outfits that I stopped because there was like a day I was like, I don't feel like dressing up. I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm just going to chill. And this was definitely a chill cruise. So that's how I kind of prepared for it. I made sure that, I'm going to call them C19 tests, okay? I don't know because if they're marking videos if you say the other word. But my C19 tests I had scheduled with, typically I'll go through CVS or Walgreens, but they weren't allowing people to schedule before the holidays originally. And then they finally opened up towards I think the day, the 23rd, they start letting people book for the 24th. But typically you can book 2 weeks in advance. So I was able to snag an appointment with Walgreens. And so that's how I did my test, and it was negative. And I was ready to sail. I already had my flight tickets booked. I did decide to fly in the day of just because that was the only option for me, really. It was Christmas the day before, and this cruise was leaving the day after Christmas. So there really wasn't an option for me to leave Christmas Day because the flights were leaving at noon, and I'm like, that would take the whole day away from my family. And then they weren't getting there right away. They were they're connecting flights, so you wouldn't get to Miami until 6 o'clock or something. And that just wasn't an option for me. I hadn't seen my family in a while, and so I only had 2 days with my family because I took boards again on the 23rd. And so I had to fly in from the state I'm in now to my home state. And then my family picked me up after I took boards, and I basically spent the 23rd, the 24th, 25th, and then I flew out on the 26th. So it worked out for me. I like to do, whenever I fly out the same day, I only do nonstop flights. And I know I'm looking all over the place because I keep forgetting, but we'll get this right in the next video. Anyways, but whenever I fly the day of, I always book the earliest flight and nonstop. And typically American Airlines is the airline I go with because they offer the most nonstop flights to where I'm going. I think Southwest does as well, but American Airlines worked out well because Delta and some other airlines had canceled a bunch of flights because people got sick. And that's understandable. But I was really glad that I booked with American because it just worked out. It could have gone awry, but still it worked out. And I always book the earliest flight in case it does get canceled. They can push me on to something later that day. But that was worked out. So also, I was originally on the Carnival Horizon, and that ship broke down. So weeks before, they sent out emails, and they were able to give people an extra $200 of onboard credit for a ship change, and they also gave us 25% towards a future cruise credit. I don't want to get into the whole fiasco because, like, in real life for me, people have talked about it enough. I don't really care anymore. I accepted the terms of the new agreement. So I was on the Carnival Sunshine. And throughout this, I may also insert videos and pictures of stuff I took on the ship. So on the Carnival Sunshine, I still committed to go because one, I just needed this vacation. And two, I'd never been on the Sunshine, and it only goes out of South Carolina. And the chances that I would go to South Carolina to go out on a cruise were not likely, because either I would have to drive from North Carolina, and by myself, it can be a long drive, especially after a cruise. You're just ready to get home. And in flying out, it would be costly just to fly there. And the cruise cost a lot to go out of there for a cruise that's just going to go to the Bahamas. So it was never going to be an option for me otherwise. So I was like, well, I want to really look at this ship because this ship was a new ship when I first started cruising in 2013. So if you don't know, the Sunshine class ships are all refurbished ships from their older ships. I think the Sunshine used to be the Carnival Destiny. So it was a very old ship that they refurbished. And it definitely showed. I believe, so I guess we live in a day and time where people can't criticize without like people taking it personally. And it doesn't mean you don't like a company or anything, but there's definitely some critiques about the ship. I wouldn't get back on the Sunshine for more than a 2 to 3 day cruise. But there's some features I definitely liked about it. However, I wouldn't just cruise on it. But that was our only option. So the things I did love about the Sunshine was it offered a few restaurants that I haven't tried before. And it offered the 3 deck, Serenity Deck. That was nice. I love the way that, I wish they can take that feature and put it on other ships. That was very nice. And so I have lots of pictures of that because I spent a lot of time on Serenity. Because the ship wasn't packed, it's like you could really go out there anytime and get you a chair. It was just nice to be out there. I know there's some times that I went and just sit on the deck and I watched the movies at night, stuff I didn't do typically. All right, so let me backtrack real quick. So just one brief mention about the ship change. The Horizon is a large ship, so the capacity, even though it was less than full, it was still more than what the capacity would be for the Sunshine and another ship. So they split the Horizon into one group went to Liberty, one group went to the Sunshine. And so, yeah, I was on Sunshine. But anyway, so because of that, my ship did not leave until later because Liberty, they boarded them first. And so I actually didn't get on the ship until, I want to say 4 o'clock. It was late. And I had already been in Miami since 9 something. But they had a Facebook group going for the people who were cruising. So I met up with one of the ladies there. I told her I would wait for her since I had nothing but time and help her get to the shuttle because they were offering free shuttles from the airport to, they took us to Bayside Marketplace, whatever, to hang out until it was time to board the ship. I kind of wish they would have just taken us, like, that was, I wish if I could do it over again, I would have waited in the airport until about noon and then went to Bayside Marketplace. It was such a long wait. But either way, the ship didn't take off till actually 10 o'clock. But we were able to get on there and go to dinner, and it was fun. So anyways, now we can move on to the activities. So usually on a cruise, like, remember I took that 2-week cruise, y'all? And I will link the video below if you are not aware of my experience with the 2-week cruise I went on. But again, like I told you, I thought I would be bored at times, but I was busy all the time. That was the 2-week cruise I took in 2017, because Carnival typically has activities for you to do during the day, whether it's like something, they're like silly, but it's something to do. So I think I did like a jewelry making class one time on a ship, but they had these pamper classes, which are just sales classes, but a way to engage or do something while the ship is going on. And I would also go to all the deck parties and the nightclub. So this was different because I didn't do the stuff I typically do. And they didn't really have much activity. So because of C-19 and the short notice with they just took Sunshine off a dry dock, they didn't have like entertainment staff for the shows. So the shows were going to be concert style. So I didn't go to any of those. I typically don't go to a lot of shows anyway. So it wasn't really a big deal for me. But they had mostly it was trivia. And then I know they had karaoke and it's still a comedy show. And the comedian was actually Agent Gomez from the Breaking Bad. So that was nice to have him up there because I was a big fan of the show. And let's see, but I oddly, I didn't find it out till later because I didn't get to go to a comedy show because I slept a lot during my cruise. I took a lot of naps and that was okay with me because again, I didn't realize how tired I was from just working hard the past year. And so I was exhausted. So I took a nap typically around 2:00 to like 4:00. And then I hung out and did other stuff. But I spent time in the casino because I had a casino offer actually that I booked the cruise with. And I used some of the $200 onboard credit for that. I did some shopping on the ship for their $10 sales. That's actually where I got this necklace here and this earring. So I like statement necklaces because it's an easy way to dress up my outfit for work. So it's jumped to a lot of people, but again, this is just $10 that I would pay like $20 for here. So I just got a couple of them that I really like. And I got some swim covers. They were $10. I bought my mom and dad like these swimsuit carry bags or something because they go to the beach all the time. And then I think I got a green purse because I always wanted a green purse. But basically, I found ways to spend my onboard credit that they gave me because I had already prepaid my gratuities. So the full $200 was mine. I already had an additional $167 that I overpaid for the cruise that was mine. And because I didn't know before this that, and whenever you see the rate go down for your cruise, as long as it's before the final payment day, you can call back and have them change the rate code. And all that extra money you can have refunded or you can have paid, put as onboard credit. And so I'll make another video about that because I definitely paid for this cruise with discounts, with gift cards, and I'll explain all that in another video. But it was just extra money to blow. So I had an equivalent of like $367 of onboard credit that I knew going into the cruise. They gave us additional $20 for the delay to get on the ship because we were waiting for when they put you in the marketplace, they were going to pay for you to have lunch. So they gave me $20 for that. Then I got an extra $50 for some reason. And because I think they were like a lot of people got an extra credit the next day. So an extra $70. All this went to the casino. And I just look at it as an adult video game, so I don't feel bad about it. But I had fun. I went to bingo. I didn't participate, but one of the ladies I met at the table, she was big on bingo. She actually won a cruise through bingo, so she was there, and it was fun just seeing like the excitement for that. I went to the Love and Marriage show, of course. I think that's just a funny show to go to. And then other than that, I did, the deck, the movies on deck. At night, I typically don't do those, but it was really nice just being out in the ocean with the breeze and you're watching a movie on the screen. And I got to watch a couple of movies that I didn't see at home. So the next time I go on a cruise, I'll probably plan based on their movie schedule. If I do want to have time where I just stay in the room and just relax, I'll pick a time where they're going to have something good playing on TV or they'll have a good movie on deck. And everything is different too because so everything's digital now. You have to have a phone to really enjoy yourself on a cruise or something like, because you scan the little codes they have and the codes show you all the menus. There's no paper copies for menus, room service menus, like the activities guide that they would have in the past, which is kind of good because they would waste a lot of paper, I'm sure, printing those every day for every cruise. but everything was digital. So that was an adjustment to change because I'm used to waiting to grab a menu, and I'm like, oh, it's time to order, and I should have looked at the menu already. But they remind you throughout while you're on the cruise to do so. So, and I really do like the way they did the app. And I took some pictures of, like, when you want to book reservations for specialty restaurants, you do it all through the app. So I definitely booked some reservations to go to some of the specialty restaurants, and that was fun. They're really pushing the casino deals now. I didn't really know about it. I don't know if it's just becoming a new way how they do things. I used to book my next cruise on the ship. They don't do that anymore. So my activities there wasn't really much to do, in my opinion, for me. Again, I'm a solo cruiser in my early 30s. What is fun for me? So that's what I'm looking at. And I don't drink a lot. So I had a few alcoholic drinks, but I didn't do a drink package because I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I didn't even drink a lot of specialty drinks because, one, I realized I don't eat like I used to. So even though I did eat throughout the cruise, I would get full often. I would just stop because I don't want to get sick. If you eat too much, you're going to, if I eat too much, I'm going to get sick. So I definitely didn't want to do that. But the food to me was pretty good. I did enjoy the food. Like, yeah. But activities, that's all I pretty much did. I shopped. I spent my own board credit, spent a lot of time in the casino, and that was good enough for me. So, what else? Okay, I have a list here so I can keep track of what I'm talking about. Okay, let's talk about eating. So, eating-wise, they had 2 specialty restaurants and a steakhouse. And so, I love going to a steakhouse. It's like $38, but it was free this time because there was a nice lady that we met while we were on the cruise, and she had got some offer where she could bring some guests with her to a steakhouse. And so even though, so she let us come, and that was nice to have like a free meal. And then they did this nice little dessert called the Art, where it's like a white chocolate spear with raspberry. It was very tasty. I don't know about the little sticky fruits, but I took a picture of that. It was very nice. It was just interesting to look at. So, but waiting times are longer just because you got to think too, there's shorter staff. Like, I understand now because I work in an industry now where things are slower because of all the delays with C-19. I don't know. It was just like, okay, it's going to take longer than usual. But one of my favorite restaurants now is Gigi's Kitchen because it was spicy. I'm not a spicy girl, so like I would have to bring some milk with me next time, but it was very flavorful, very tender, the meat. I was very pleased with that. And their chicken rolls, chicken egg rolls, spring rolls were the best. Like I didn't even know ground chicken could taste that good. Y'all have to try their restaurant. I did go to the free pasta bar with the Italian restaurant. I wasn't impressed at all. Like I would not have it again. I didn't like it. I like when they have food that's like flavored, not just like sauce and stuff. So maybe I'll try it for dinner, but I don't know. I just enjoyed the Gigi's Kitchen. Then I had the same thing for breakfast all the time. Like I like Sea Day brunch. They had good food with that. I did the salmon Benedict. Very good. I ate salmon pretty much every morning. That was my favorite dish. And the poached eggs just made it delightful. What else did I have? I did enjoy seated dinner. I like to do assigned dining because, again, they pick when you don't like, especially when you go on a cruise by yourself. I like how if you do the assigned dining, they're going to try to assigned dining, seated dining. They're going to sit you with people who are like you. So on my 2-week cruise, a more like older crowd was coming, and I love hanging with the young. Oh, I could do everybody. So I would see what most people like were widows or never married, solo cruisers. And then here I had a younger crowd or whatever. And so it was nice meeting those ladies, and I got to do some different activities with them because they're like, hey, let's hang out. Let's do this. So that's when I did bingo with one, and then the other one, the last night we went, after dinner, I was like, okay, let's hang in a casino for a couple hours or a while, and then we get to Gigi's and had, some more food. Like, it was just a nice experience. You get to meet some really nice, lovely people, and yeah, had a good time. I won't say their names because I don't want to, like, you know, put people's names on the internet, but, you know, hello. Very nice ladies I've met on the cruise here. Very delightful people. So what else? Okay. Yeah. The food to me was good. I didn't have any complaints. To me, the free food tasted better than the paid food. I will say that. That's all I have. I mean, it was a short, sweet trip. I don't want to make this a super long video. Some of the free stuff, like, well, this isn't, so I used to get these little picture things for free. I guess I would get them free because I would buy photos. I didn't buy pictures this time. So, but the guy was nice enough to give me, like, the Sunshine photo album, because you see this little green thing in the back. That's my scrapbook. And so I'm going to go ahead and, I think this is the last, I have one more page left. I'm going to put these pictures on the last page, and that will close out those traveling journeys. But I'm excited to be back to cruising. Carnival, like, their staff is amazing. They were cleaning the entire time. Like, so they have people that are just sitting, like, standing on the deck with the sanitizing buckets, and they literally will wipe the rails every 10 minutes. Like, it was frequently. You could see them just standing there all the time. And then, like, they would watch as people got up, they would clean off the deck chairs. Like, so again, they kept it very clean. There were sanitizing stations everywhere. I know people mentioned, like, some people were saying people weren't wearing masks. I wore my mask every time I was out in walking around the ship. Like, sometimes I'll walk in my room and forget, and I'd have to go back and put it back on. It's a very natural thing to happen. But when I was out on deck, like, especially when no one's, like, right beside me, I would just take it off and just, you know, stand over the rail, and I was fine. And they were fine with that too. I didn't do any deck parties, so I don't know as far as that experience, but I avoided, like, I behave just like I would behave on land. So I don't go into large crowds here. And it's mostly because I don't like large crowds, not just because of C-19. But I conducted myself like I would here. So I tested again when I got home, and I was negative. Because my family, they wore their mask around me, and I wore my mask until I had my test, like, which was probably within an hour after me getting off the plane. And so I did the Binax Now test, and that's what I recommend, because you can get 2 kits for $69. And so I had one for before and after I cruised, but I was able to get one at Walgreens, so I used that. But now I still have an extra one, so I'm gonna use that one for, like, later. But they expire every 2, I think they extended the expiration dates, but they'll tell you all that in the box. Anyways, I'm still negative, and, you know, I'm thankful for that. But I just behaved like I would have. And they have sanitizing stations too all over the ship. So when I used to cruise, they would have, like, you know, the little system where they have, you can wash your hands. It would be like soap, like, it'll turn green, blue, and red for drying or something. I think I...
Don't be jealous, okay? Right. Exactly. Living my best life. Oh, it feels so good to be back on the ship.
That works anyways. So it's different. It's not the hand washing station like that. They have it where you just stick your hands. There's like 2 hand holes. You stick it in there, and then for 12 seconds, you see a red light or a blue light. Just spray, the water sprays around your hands, and it's like sanitizing solution. And then you take it out, and there's some paper towels for you to dry your hands, and you put it in there. So they had that in front of Gigi's. They had it, let's say this is Guy's and this is the Blue Katina. there are two on like the side where you get the drinks. And then they had hand sanitizer right there by the salsa bar and by the burger bar toppings. And then inside they had sanitizer stations, not like the hands, but just like the thing right before you walk into the dining room. They had them. I thought they did. Like, you know, maybe you have to look. You didn't have to look too much for them, but I know I've seen complaints where people said they didn't really have them. I thought I saw them. Anyways, tell me, have y'all started cruising again? Are you waiting to cruise? How do you feel about it? It's nice to be back. Hopefully I'll be able to do live again so I can interact with you. I miss seeing some of you, or, you know, I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys another time. Bye. Yeah, I'm so happy to be in this room today.
Hello, welcome aboard Carnival Sunshine, the most fun cruise line in the world.
Ooh. This is actually perfectly spaced. Ooh.
What can I say? It's a tough job. But as chief fun officer, I take safety as seriously as I take fun. So please pay attention to the safety information you're about to see. All aboard!
I don't see any sewage. Oh, this is a big shower. Okay. All right. Look at the closet. Ooh.
Because not all ships and safety procedures are the same, even if you have sailed with us previously, we ask that you attend the safety briefing.
I'm so glad I got a lot of hangers.
Inside your stateroom, along corridors and stairwells.
Okay. Ow.